joined this morning by influencer, internet personality, and friend of the show, Knowa De Baraso. And Knowa, good to have you here. Good to see you. Always a pleasure for you to see your face on our air. And listen, you're one of the millions of young people on TikTok. So what would you like to see happen to the platform? You just heard President Trump talk about maybe some U.S. investors buying it or a U.S. company. What do you think should happen?
Holly, me alongside millions of young people just want to do the renegade and get our day over with. We could honestly care less about who's owning TikTok and what government and what people are doing. Here's the thing. No matter what country's doing it, we're being spied on regardless. If it's the United States, if it's Russia, if it's China, all apps have data that you have to agree to if you want the app. If you don't want to have your data breached, then that's on you to not sign onto that. I'll say this. I would like to see an American-owned business like Mark Cuban or Microsoft is in talks to acquire it. There are a lot of great American companies and American companies that are American-owned that aren't owned by the Chinese government. ByteDance is owned by the Chinese government, and whether young people like it or not, I think our public safety and our safety comes first.
Okay, so a lot of young TikTok users are crediting President Trump with saving the platform. So what message do you have for them about that?
My message for them is they're getting played because Trump tried to ban it in 2020. Couldn't do it. Charlie Kirk was on board with it, tweeted every day, President Trump's going to make America great again and ban TikTok and keep us safe. And here, look, you have him now trying to say, I'm good with young people. I'm going to unban it. It's going to be the best thing you've ever seen. And he tried to ban it. He started the fight to ban it. This is his fight. He started it. And so he's trying to take credit for now that it's going to be available for 89 more days. Give me a break.
Oh, all right, well, let's talk about President Trump. So we're 1 week into his new administration. You have some really good opinions and thoughts. So what are your impressions so far?
My impression so far, Holly, is that we're going to be set back to the 1940s by next Monday. With all these executive orders, great policy that are being signed and repealed, would have no ulterior motive but to benefit the American people. These are things we've seen since the 1960s. Things that are being taken away. When Kamala Harris said we're not going back, this is exactly what we're talking about. And whether you believe the election was rigged or something happened or there was fraud somewhere, we went back. And that's my thoughts on that.
You know, we've seen immediate aggressive action from President Trump on immigration and executive orders. So how do you think those moves are playing out with young people? If you talk to anybody your age, you're 13, am I right? 13?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, what are people saying? What are your friends saying? Are they paying attention? Did they have thoughts as well?
Yeah, they saw right through Trump's mess. And if we're just being honest here, there's pop crave, there's pop flop, there's blogs that are calling out Trump for what he's doing, whether that be him repealing these executive orders or them telling the truth about him banning TikTok or not. And so they know, and the young people are seeing right through it. And the game he's trying to play is getting him in trouble and the Republican Party in trouble in 2028 and in the midterms. They're playing a dangerous game.
All right, a lot of young people, though, voted for Trump. And you've said before that even if protecting Social Security and Medicare doesn't apply to them yet, it does apply to someone they know. So how do you get young people to care about these issues when they may not be directly impacted right now?
I'll say this. They're going to see it right in their face, like a gift. So their grandma's going to say, hey, those shoes that I said I was going to get you, never mind. That gift that I said I was going to get you a few weeks ago, not going to happen. That's not something a lot of people are going to have to deal with. I don't have to. There's a lot of people that are just not going to have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with it. There's going to be a lot of people that don't have to deal with it. And then we're going to say, we supported Kamala Harris, and we were right in doing that, and I'm so glad I did. And the friends that supported Donald Trump are the reason behind why my kicks ain't what I needed to be.
Social media, do you think the reason why young people like you are more engaged in politics?
Oh, yeah. There are so many influencers these days saying, hey, get out and vote. Hey, I just credited a bunch of Twitter blogs like Pop Crave, Pop Pop Flop, Pop Core. There's a lot of pop accounts on social media that usually talk about pop culture and what Taylor Swift is doing. And now they're talking about politics, and it's helping, and it's really getting folks civically engaged. Even if that meant getting Trump elected in 2024, it's getting people engaged.
All right, I have to ask you this, though. Is there a line? When I was 13, I don't even think I really realized who was president. I didn't know who my senators were. I didn't know policies. So do you think kids should be less worried about Capitol Hill and more concerned with the freedom of being a kid? Do you think we're kind of losing childhood for some kids? Do you miss it?
Oh, okay, here's the thing. I can do politics and then go ding-dong ditching in the same day. So here's the fact of the matter is that in order to have a good, I guess I don't like to use the term childhood, you can say, you need to be concerned about the future, because what are you going to be able to reflect on if you're not even going to be able to vote in 3 and 5 years, or however long you may have left? Here's the thing. We need to be more concerned. That's since they can't, the Republican Party and the progressives can't attack me on anything else. They say you should be focused on that, and that's just a distraction from saying that you're spitting facts here, and we're trying to ignore that. And so that's exactly what they're doing, and they don't want to talk about the fact that by next Tuesday, we're going to be back in the 1950s.
All right, so somebody your age, 13, you've got a few years before you can actually vote. What do you think you can do right now to be effective, and what can your friends do, or those who are in their early teens do, knowing, look, Trump is president, he has both houses of Congress. What is your next play? What do you do now?
Yeah, honestly, I thought I'd say, hey, I'm gonna take a 3 weeks break. I'm gonna chill out, and then I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna do the politics stuff. It's gonna be great. I think there should be no break. Tim Walz said on the campaign trail, you sleep when you're dead, and that's more true than ever. You have folks saying we sleep on November 5th. Tim Walz was saying we sleep when we're dead. And so I'm gonna be fighting for until the midterms, until 2028. The fight does not stop, and the resistance does not stop, and we have to continue to fight against this nonsense that we're seeing.
Influencer and internet personality Knowa De Baraso, always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.